is that soup time of year. Are you ready for another wonderful winter soup recipe? If you are, you're in the right place, so let's get into my kitchen. If you've been here for a while, you know that I love chickpeas, you know that I love spinach, especially those combined. We are gonna do that. It's getting chilly out here in the evenings and the mornings in Southern California in the desert. So now is kind of that like soup stew season, chilies, we're getting into it. Trying something new. It's a lemony lentil chickpea soup. So what are we gonna use? We're gonna use spinach. We're gonna use chickpeas or garbanzo beans, duh. Red lentils. I didn't have as many red lentils as I probably wanted for this, so we're also gonna throw in some yellow split peas. I think it'll be great. It'll add a different color. It'll be wonderful. Add to the variety of types of foods that we're putting in this, which is supposed to be good for gut microbiome. So, happy mistake. We got some garlic. We've got some celery and onions. We got a lemon that I found on my walk. It had just come off the tree. So I just picked it off the ground. No trespassing. We've also got salt, pepper, thyme, and the last little bit of oregano, which I have now put on my shopping list on the whiteboard there. The other thing that we've got going on, maybe you can see back here, we are making some broth. We're gonna have fresh, wonderful broth for this soup, all vegetable broth. Got to use up a bunch of our veggies in that. So I usually do it in the crock pot, but this was like I feel like doing it now, so we put that on over an hour ago. Boiled, brought it to a boil, then let it simmer. But I will link to a video that has how I normally do my broth. That way you can see that. All right, let's get started. We got our big pot here. We're gonna put in a couple tablespoons of oil. In theory, maybe I would have measured this. I'm not a good eyeballer. It's a big ass pot, so I'm sure that's fine. We're gonna let that heat up a little bit. Leave it on medium-high heat. We are gonna add the onions and the celery. I did put in a whole onion. It was like a medium, maybe it might have even been small, I don't know. And I did use my little like chopper attachment on my immersion blender for it because I just couldn't, my eyes could not, they were bad enough with what we did. So we're gonna let this cook for like 4 or 5 minutes. We're gonna let the onions get translucent or whatever. Okay, it's maybe hard to see, but those are looking wonderful and translucent. So we're gonna add the garlic. Give that a moment. Of course, we don't want the garlic to burn. Okay, and we're gonna add the lentils and the chickpeas, which I did drain, rinsed, and then put under water, and now they have like solidified. Cool. Once I add the broth, they'll loosen up. I'm not stressed about it. But I rinsed them and then put them all together. Such is life. All right, let's add some broth. This is like, I don't know, 2.5 cups of broth. So we're gonna add that first. This is hot broth that just came out of my pot. Those are all getting nicely mushed up now. Okay. Now we can add the rest of the broth. No, I did not show you me adding the rest of the broth because I thought for sure it was going to be a disaster pouring it from there to there. And it actually turned out not to be a disaster. Now I'm going to add my drained chickpeas to that. And now I'm going to add my spices. I'm going to add all the oregano that I have, which is not that much, but such is life. I'm going to add that in. We're going to add, I don't know, it might be a lot of thyme actually. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe that much. Seems good. I'm going to add some salt. Start with that much. And then we're going to add some pepper. I don't know how much. We're just gonna put a bunch in there. We're gonna stir it all about. We're gonna let this simmer for, I don't know, 15 minutes. I'm gonna put the lid on and let it simmer. Okay, we've let it boil and then we turned it back to simmer. 15 minutes. We started the timer before it got to the boil, but it's fine. It's on low now, but it is hot. So now we're gonna put in roughly 2 cups of rough chopped spinach. I bought a bunch of spinach at the store. This was almost the whole bunch. You could put the whole bunch in if you wanted. I just thought, you know, I actually wanted to save a little bit for a dinner another night. So I just saved a little bit, like a 1/8 or 1/16 of a bunch. Not very much did I save. Most of it is in here. I'm gonna let this go for, I don't know, 5 more minutes. We're getting really close to being done. Okay, because I added the split peas and they take longer to cook, I was not thinking about that. I let this go a little longer. I've now taken it off the heat and I'm gonna add my lemon zest. That is, I can smell it and it smells awesome. And then I'm supposed to add some lemon juice. So I cut the lemon to a bunch of these. I'm gonna use this thing instead of a lemon juicer because like this is way easier and better. The only problem with doing it this way is that I can't actually measure how much juice I'm putting in. I guess I could have done this into some other vessel, but I didn't really feel like dirtying anything else. So we did not. I'm gonna do this for like a whole bunch more time, so I'm not gonna record that because that'll be boring. I didn't quite put all the lemon in. I still have 2 little lemons left. I did add more salt. And there you have it. A nice big pot of lemony chickpea and lentil and split pea soup. And of course, you can season a little more or to your tastes. But I think it's quite enjoyable. So if you like this video, go ahead, give this a like, share it with somebody that you know might enjoy it. You might be wondering, okay, so how are you gonna serve this? So I could serve it just like this in a bowl. I could serve it with bread. I could serve it with some sort of crackers. I could serve it over rice or quinoa, or I could make a potato and like chop that up and put it in a bowl and then pour this over it. So lots of different ways that I might enjoy this to kind of keep it fresh and changing, and so that it doesn't seem like I'm having the same thing over and over and over. Although I probably will freeze some of this and have it again later. Okay, so this is editing Anitra here. I did want to share that this lentil soup recipe, the Lemony lentil soup recipe, was so fantastic. I took that some of that fideo pasta, put a little bit of vegan butter in the bottom of a pan, kind of toasted them or like browned them a little bit, then kind of made them as pasta, put the soup in with it just before they were done, let that boil. It was so good. So definitely encourage that as one way to do it. You could do it over regular pasta. You could add grains. You could add so like rice or quinoa or barley or really anything you like. So make it your own and enjoy. I hope you enjoyed that recipe. I know that I enjoyed making it and I enjoyed eating it. So if you know somebody else that you think would really like this recipe, the biggest compliment you could give me would be if you would share this with them. Otherwise, I hope to see you again soon. Until next time, bye.